Winter, great to have you on here, sir. Thank you so much.
No worries. Big fan of the pod. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. And that's about all the time we have today. Thank you so much, Winter.
Well
No,
done.
I really do appreciate it. You're in France right now, right?
Yeah. I'm in the south of France in a town called Agen.
That sounds nice. That sounds good.
It is. Yeah, it's quite nice.
And did you wrap up the tour yet, or you're wrapping it up?
Yeah, it's officially wrapped up.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a big one. It was like 34 shows in 47 days. So I was a bit of a monster, and you can probably tell my voice. I'm still feeling the effects of it.
No, it's good. It sounds good. You get nice raspiness to it.
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's good.
it's road worn, if you will.
Yeah, that's the I've smoked cigarettes for 20 years voice that you can't get unless you sick or smoke cigarettes for 20 years.
Right. And then if you're sick and smoke cigarettes for 20 years, I mean, that's where you really want to be.
Yeah, that's like Leonard Cohen or someone
Right.
like that. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah. That's a good pull. I like that one. Yeah. Um, did you ever think that you'd be in this position to be playing this many shows when you first started making music?
Oh, no way. I think yeah, it's pretty crazy. Um, I only really thought that this was like a doable thing like a couple of years ago. Um, so definitely a dream come true, but now also a reality uh revealed to me as well.
It's better than you imagined, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of things. I think it's really cool and then also like really hard at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
W was this always a dream to be touring like this and doing this amount of shows, or even more?
Yeah. Oh, it totally definitely dream come true to be, just like touring full time in this 2 months period, you know. It's like a
Yeah,
different way of living. Um, mm.
it's a good answer. I like that answer. Um, do you recall your first instance of wanting to play music or getting interested in it?
Um, no, I grew up, my parents are both musicians and artists, so I think I've always been around it. But the kind of music and art they make is pretty experimental. And I guess not as like music, like rock music or folk music orientated to the kind of music that I like and music that I've grown up with. I remember my brother giving me a Nirvana Sliver compilation, like um LimeWire download. This is throwing it back. And being like, oh, this is awesome. And then I was always learning instruments as a kid, like drums, started with drums. And then in early high school, I met a couple of people and we kind of, I guess, formed our first band, but it was very much just in like just in at school. But I think the love was born then in early high school. And towards the end of high school, I was starting to do Australian tours and stuff.
Wow.
So it's kind of just always been the thing for me, really.
Well, that's a good thing. Uh,
Yeah,
what was it that drew you towards wanting to pick up the drums?
I don't know. I have no idea. I'd have to ask my parents.
Okay, cool. And they're coming on soon. I also sent them the Zoom link, so
Yeah, sick. All right, they're in the waiting room actually.
yeah, I should go get them. Yeah. Um, so it did start with the drums. That was the initial instrument.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you feel like you took to them immediately? Like it was just something that it was like, oh yeah, I got this, or did it take some time to kind of mature in the sense of playing them?
Hmm. I don't know. I think when I started, it was definitely pretty casual, like I guess any instrument. Um, I think I just really loved it. But then, like, yeah, I'd go to weekly lessons, but it was a bit like, oh yeah, playing the drums, and then I just got more serious about it when I actually started listening and liking music on my own, you know,
Right.
my own identity kind of thing.
What were some of the pivotal moments of creating your own identity within music?
Good question.
Thank you.
Um,
I try to get the good ones out of the way now, and then later on
yeah, okay.
it's a slow decrease.
Um, I feel like there's like a few moments. I think when you're like first forming your own music taste in as a teenager, I feel like that's a big one. Um, and then I don't know, I didn't really start writing songs until I was at like 20 or 21. Um, and after many years after I'd picked up the guitar as well. Um, I feel like writing songs is a big part of forming your own musical identity. It's not like essential, but it felt like for me a very like pivotal moment.
Right. What were some early artists outside of Nirvana that were kind of influencing your taste early on?
Early on, I was big into um like stonery music, like Electric Wizard and stuff, and then got lighter and lighter as the years went on. I was very into like the Aussie psych scene because it was kind of happening, you know, in 2016, 17, obviously still is now. Like your Ponds and King Gizzard and stuff. And then, yeah, I
AC/DC,
guess,
sure, right.
yeah, yeah,
Men at
all the
Work.
classics, Led Zeppelin. But I don't know, also like hip hop as well. Like I think it's so cool to have grown up like just pre-internet, but then mainly have internet to like I can listen to any genre. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
listen to that and then like Ali Fakature or like on your '90s hip hop stuff. Like it's so cool.
Yeah, to be able to jump around like that is amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fully.
It's a good point, Winter. I can't dispute that. That's bringing up some good points. So the first band that you were in was it started in high school.
Yeah. 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 I would say I would say so.
And what was that like for you? What was that experience like for you? And you had toured with them later on, further down the line.
Yeah, we did like one tour at the end of high school as like a I don't know. I don't know if you have schoolies in America, but schoolies in Australia is like you go with your friends on a holiday after your last year of high school and essentially just like party. And instead of that, I did like a an East Coast Australian tour with my high school band. Um, yeah, it was so fun doing that in high school. I think it taught me a lot of like how like local gigs work and like I don't know, just playing every week was so fun. Definitely like yeah, got me stoked on live music as well.
Was that your first experience with like composing songs?
Yeah, I think together with the other members, and I was on the drums, so I wasn't like writing any melodic things, but as much as you can from the kit. Um,
Which
yeah,
was a lot in your case. I talked to the other guys and they said, yeah, yeah, yeah. It was
yeah,
really experimental, kind of deep stuff.
yeah, yeah, free flowy.
Sure, sure. That was an adjective that was used. Yeah.
No, I think it was very like television, like post punk would she would try and be real cool with it.
And looking back on it, it was really cool, right?
Yeah, maybe the coolest band actually. Maybe I peaked then.
That was it. But hey, it's a good jumping off point.
Yeah, fully.
Um, so I mean, did that band kind of give you a taste of what you would or what was to come with other projects and such?
Yeah, in a way, it's all linked. I met people through that project that I then played with and met new people, and it all feels very symbiotic.
I like that. That's a good word to use. Symbiotic.
Mm.
Got to jot that one down. Thank you.
No worries.
Uh, and did it just kind of progress from there into different groups and whatnot?
Yeah, from there I joined another band because their like previous drummer accidentally took my cymbals. Like my high school band supported them at a gig, and then the guy accidentally took my cymbals. So then I had to meet up with this other band, and they were like, "Oh, we're looking for a drummer," and I was like, "Oh, I'll do it." And like, "Oh, cool! Like we're going on tour next week." And I think I had like my final school exams like around that time as well. But I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'm gonna go on tour."
Perfect. Yeah. And how did you do on the final tests? Pretty good?
Oh yeah, so good.
Okay.
No, but did them, finished them.
Hey, that's what matters. That's what's
Yeah.
important there. And from there, was it kind of more of the same?
Yeah, I think I was playing drums in this band for a few years, and then that band came to an end, and I think, and then I started playing guitar in a band with some friends, and that was my first time playing guitar in a band, which was really fun, a new thing. With Gene, for who I play with in Sunfruits, he was in that band. Um, and then yeah, it's just like all the bands I've been in feel linked. Even when they end, it means something else is beginning. I don't know. Yeah.
It's a good way to look at life as well.
Yeah, I think so.
What was your experience like I mean the first time picking up the guitar in that other group?
So fun. It was like I wasn't very it's really good for your like ability. I think like picking up another instrument and then like having to learn it because you're like, all right, we're playing gigs, like I don't want to be terrible. So I was good in that regard for just getting better at the instrument. And also working out how guitar pedals worked. I didn't really know how they worked.
And
Um,
now you do. Now you're like a master of the guitar pedals.
uh, I reckon I've only just got my handle on my tone.
I mean, people have been really talking you up about your extensive knowledge on this subject now. So
True.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, does it feel vastly different to be up on stage with the guitar strapped to you rather than being behind a kit?
Yeah, definitely. I think I like both. I like having both in my life. Having the guitar is a bit more free, I think, because you can move around and, just move your body a bit more. But I like the like stability of the drums and like you're really controlling everything from the kit. You go and see a band and the drummer is like kind of leading it, which is interesting. I think, in my opinion, anyway.
Right. And this is the correct opinion that everybody should share.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. I understand now. Um, so Sunfruits begins, and what kind of year are we talking about of the origin of that band?
So Sunfruits, like end of 2018,
Okay.
um, we like officially form, and then we've been playing gigs in Melbourne. And then we've had, members come and go. Um, yeah, for end of 2018, Sunfruit starts, and then I start making solo music 2020, maybe 2021.
So pretty soon after.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was a bit of like an explosion of composition for myself, which was nice.
I would say so. I also share that sentiment. Uh, do you remember the how Sunfruits began? Do you remember the origin of that?
I started the band with my girlfriend Acacia and my friend Jean, and the band name comes from this like local Australian lolly, which was mainly served in. Well, I didn't have it in my school, but my girlfriend did, and she grew up in like a small regional town in the bush in Australia, and they're called sunfruits. They're these little like fruity lollies that you can get. So that's the origin story. Um, yeah, yeah.
Had you had before joining the group?
No, no, I hadn't.
Never.
We did on our first interstate show. We we got a bag of Sunfruits and we ate them. They're kind of like gummy, like I don't know, like just like the classic like gelatinous lolly.
The classic ones that we all know, right? Yeah.
Yeah, just like I don't know, like red flavor, green flavor. You know what I mean?
And your favorite at the moment would be
Green.
okay. Because I know that there is a song about that, and I just wanted to
Mm-hmm. And I
check.
say my favorite one's the green in that song, so still
I
remains.
wanted to check up on that. Just want to make
I'm
sure
glad you
that
did. I'm glad you asked.
these are the hard hitting questions. Nobody wants to ask. Everybody's too afraid to, but not me. I'll go there. I'll ask about favorite flavors of such things.
Vineyard gonna go there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm there. I live there. So yeah. Um, but had real quick, and then I promise we'll get off this subject. You had heard
Hmm.
about the Sunfruits. You knew the name of the
No, not at
things.
all.
Not even that. Okay.
No, no. Yeah, I had no. It wasn't in my lexicon. And
So
then,
you were just thrown into it.
yeah. Keisha brought me in there, which is funny as well because she's not in the band anymore. Um, but yeah, crazy.
But still, the green stays
Hmm.
and the name stays as well.
Yeah,
Did you feel like you had a greater grasp on playing guitar when you entered Sunfruits?
yeah, I think so. I think it also just continually improves, which is good. Like I feel like I'm a better guitarist than I am than 4 years ago or 5 years ago,
That
which
was
is
my
good. That'd be bad if I wasn't.
eh, maybe fine. It wouldn't be great,
Yeah,
but it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
totally.
Um, was that switch difficult? Playing live, going from percussion to guitar.
No, I was itching for it, I think, because it was like a new thing. And I didn't play drums in a band for a while, up until recently. I started playing drums in a band called Jade Imagine. Um, yeah, so I was really excited. Still am excited.
Okay, I was like,
Yeah.
I was kind of nervous there for a minute. I said, is
So,
is this is this
uh,
still the sentiment?
yeah.
Um, did you feel like after switching to guitar that your mind started moving in different directions musically? Did you feel like that kind of opened up some paths for you?
Yeah, I think so. Especially singing. I'd never sung before. Um, so starting Sunfruits was my first introduction to singing, and that was really fun and definitely opened up different paths for songwriting and the music I was listening to.
Was that an even greater transition from going from not singing to singing than it was to go from percussion to guitar?
Yeah, I think they're maybe the same. I don't know. I guess drums to guitar is a big one because you're writing harmony and melody and stuff.
Yeah, but you're
Yeah,
also adding vocals on the flip side of
yeah, and
that
then
coin.
another totally, and like singing live and that whole thing. It's crazy.
Do you remember the first song that you wrote lyrics to?
Yeah, oh, yeah, I think so. It wasn't very good.
Do you feel
I think
like,
it was actually about the sun.
hey, that's not bad. Could be worse.
Could be worse.
Um, do you feel like as time goes on, you as well get better at lyricism?
I think so. I hope so. I think songwriting definitely is like a muscle, and you just keep doing it and getting better at it. But because it's subjective, I don't know. You might, like some artists, you're like, I like your old music better than new music, things like that. But for me personally, I think songwriting just keeps getting better the more you do it.
And as for some of those bands that you used to like but don't like anymore, can we name a few right now? Could we?
Name and shame. I don't even know what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about
I
this
feel like
is
I know who you're
related.
thinking about, but you won't see it. Which
Yeah,
is fine.
I signed an NDA, actually.
Yeah. Join the Patreon to get all those names.
Yes,
of the people. Yeah.
it's
Yeah, we're
50 names on the list.
yeah, maybe even plus a little bit more. Do you do you recall some of the subjects that were influencing your lyrics early on?
Um, I don't know. I think just lots of natural elements and yeah, in the environment. I think pretty quickly it grew to be like a lot of the songs lyrics were about like environmentalism because I still am very passionate about that. And then I think through that it's just become personal things, but also mainly um, I don't know, comments on society and things, whatever's in my head, really. Yeah, I found it easier to write lyrics about that than like I don't know, maybe more day to day things. I still like songs that are about day to day things, but I find it harder to write songs in that way.
I see what you're saying there.
Yeah,
I can understand that. Yeah. I'm with you there, Winter. I could see that again. You're making some valid points, and I'm trying to stump you here, and it's making it real difficult. Um, hopefully I can do it though. Um, so you're playing guitar in Sunfruits. Did you know immediately that this band was going to be greater than just anything else that you'd been a part of up to that point?
nah, no way. I think it started like very casually. Um, I just wanted to, one my the band I was in was ending, and I was like, I want to keep playing in a band. Um, but then I think I don't know. Then quite quickly it was like, no, let's be ambitious about this. I think a lot of the people around me, like especially my partner, she was killing it in another band as well, and that like rubbed off on me, and I was like, yeah, let's all like blast off or try to, just like community minded way, and
Yeah.
as in like release music and play shows and go on tours and do fun stuff. Um, but definitely didn't start like that. But then I think it just, yeah, you get driven and you want to do things.
Was there a specific point that you felt like, oh yeah, okay, now we're like legitimate and this is a full-fledged thing?
I don't know if I even still feel like that. It's so funny.
All right, let me tell you
Like,
from outside perspective, it's a full-fledged thing now. And I don't know if this is the point that I'm referring to that I'm looking for, but it is indeed a fully fledged band.
that's good to hear. Yeah, yeah. No, it does feel like that. Maybe when we did our, I don't know. There's little moments like you get your your first green room or like your music on record. Um, Doing European tours as an Australian band is also like such a huge thing. So definitely that helps with the imposter syndrome. Yeah, lots of little things. Maybe when someone first covered one of our songs, like a stranger, I was like, "Whoa, that's crazy."
And did you hit him with a copyright infringement
Yeah,
lawsuit
yeah,
thing?
yeah.
Yeah.
I got him with a cease and desist
Right. So let's
and
just take
said this
this time
chord's
now.
wrong, actually.
Yeah, don't be doing that because there will be legal ramifications. Um Speaking of the albums, what was working on this debut album like?
It was great. We, me and Gene wrote most of the music, and then we all recorded it as a band together in down on the coast at a place like in a place called Kennet River in which is near Melbourne. But it's on the Great Ocean Road, so it's really beautiful. There's lots of koalas and kangaroos around. Sounds like stereotypical Australian, but
It
it was
sounds great is what I was
it
gonna
was it
say.
was
Yeah.
good. So yeah, we were staying in this house that we kind of built a studio in for 10 days. Um, and then it just took like a few years to like mix and master it, and it was like pretty intense COVID lockdowns in Melbourne, so it was pretty depressing. But it was a great experience.
Lots of time to be hashing stuff out.
Yeah, maybe almost too much time.
Right. Yeah. It seems like with that whole scenario that a lot of people were working on a lot of stuff, and that
Mm.
sometimes a time limit or time restraint is good.
Yeah, fully. I think because I also wrote and recorded my first solo album during that period. It was just like we can't do anything else, so let's just make stuff, which is great.
Yeah. At least there was, but I mean, maybe in hindsight, if that didn't happen, maybe in the back of your mind, be like, maybe if we had more time to work on that in a
Mm.
scenario like it was, perhaps,
Yeah, yeah.
but also perhaps not. Winter. I'm not gonna say that that's not also there's also an
I
option.
guess we'll never know.
But what if we did? That'd be really cool, you know?
That would be cool if we could go back.
Um, yeah, one degree was the debut. So how long had those, I mean, what are we talking about time wise between recording it and putting it out?
Uh, we recorded in like the middle of 2021, and then it came out early 2023. So 2 years.
A good kind of time to let it marinate.
Yeah, and it was marinating for sure. Um, I would like to be able to put things out quicker, but it just seems like that's how it goes.
But yeah, you know, it goes the way it goes, and maybe for a
Mm.
reason externally, perhaps.
Yeah, true. Yeah, and there's lots of other things going on externally. You're right.
That's also true. We're really figuring some stuff out today,
This is
Winter.
great.
Yeah. I mean,
Even better things on the Patreon.
yeah. Well, hey, I mean, what happens in the Patreon stays in the Patreon, and go join. I mean, Winter, you know, you've been subscribed forever. Yeah, you've been
Yeah,
running real long.
no, sincerely though, this is my go-to podcast, especially on airplanes.
Really,
Yeah, yeah, I'll scroll down in the terminal and I'll download ones I want to listen to.
I do. I do appreciate that, Winter. That it really does mean a lot to me. That means a lot to me. If you're gonna ask me what kind of makes it worth it, it's that it's
Yeah,
traveling on the airplanes.
yeah,
No, thank you again. I
no worries. Thank you.
I do sincerely. You know what? Hey, you got it. If I could do anything for you, Winter, you know, that's what brings me joy.
Subscribe to my Patreon.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, hey, yeah, there's no better time to say it except right now. Um,
Yeah.
how was the flight, by the way?
Oh, it's so long, man. It's like maybe the longest flights you can do. It's like to get to Europe from Australia, it's a 14-hour flight and then an 8-hour flight. So whatever that is, like 20 something hours of flying. Um, yeah, but it was okay. We did it. I think what was hard as well, we had to, like, we went Melbourne to Abu Dhabi and then Abu Dhabi to Brussels and then Brussels to Bilbao in Spain. And when we got to Bilbao, we checked our like air tags on our instruments and luggage, and they were all still in Brussels. So
Perfect.
had just done like 30 hours of travel in our one set of clothes. And then we didn't get our bags for like another 3 days. So we were just marinating in these plain clothes in Spain, just like, yeah, that was a wild way to start the tour.
Oh,
But we got all our stuff
fantastic.
back.
All right. Well, that's really good. But yeah, that's a little bit stressful.
Yeah, for sure. Everyone was dealt with it pretty well though. I think because we knew it was coming, it was just like we know they're there. At least they're not still in Melbourne. That would be more difficult.
A little bit. You know that they're there. They know that you're somewhere else, and
Mm,
it's just just got to meet up.
totally. What was
Um,
crazy? Sorry,
but no, please,
there's a
please,
there's
please.
there's an extra step to this story. Like 2 weeks later, um, someone posts on Instagram or Facebook, and they're like, "I dropped like 11 pieces of luggage to this band, Sunfruits." And we're like, wait, was the guy who dropped our bags off? How did he know who we were? I still don't know how, but it was a really long post, and it was like, I love this band. I dropped them their luggage in Spain. We're like, what? who is this guy? It's crazy.
So let's just take this time now. If you're listening to this, whoever you are that dropped off the luggage in Spain, um, we want to know who it is, and would love to have you on the Patreon to discuss it.
Yeah, please.
Um, no, that's insane. Did you
Yeah, it was so
respond
funny.
like, "Hey, thank you" or anything?
No, no, we should. That's maybe we should. We probably just liked it. We should
You guys,
respond to that.
you guys got to
It's pretty
respond
brutal.
and say,
Yeah.
"Hey, thank you."
Thank you so much for that.
But also, the person should have said something when they
Well,
dropped it
yeah,
off.
unless they're just like, this band, like this crew of people look funny. I'm gonna look them up.
That's also, yeah, and we're gonna get to the bottom of that at the Patreon. But
Mm.
just for this public episode, we'll continue forward.
Mm-hmm.
Um, did this tour feel like the first time that you were able to really showcase the songs from the band because it had been ruminating for so long and you've been working on the album for so long and I mean it's been out for 2 years now ish, but do you feel like bringing it to Europe was another step?
I think, well, because we've been to Europe twice now. Like we did our first European tour last year in September. Um, which is when the same year that the album came out. So I think that one was very much like, yeah, we're bringing the debut album, like people listen to it and it's amazing. And this time was definitely like that as well, but I think it was more of a slog in that, like, we've been playing the songs for a few years. Um and I don't know, I think it was just like it was a different vibe. Like we're also playing lots of new songs in the set, which people don't know, which is fine. It's still fun. But yeah, it was definitely a different experience the first time. It was amazing going to new places like Spain though that we hadn't played in before, and seeing people that knew the songs. That's always a crazy experience.
Yeah, that must be pretty wild.
Mm.
I believe you, Winter.
Yeah, I
Like,
know. It doesn't say. It's like we were played. I don't know, just a random one. Like we were in Vigo in Spain and playing at a venue, and this guy's like, "Yeah, I love this song. Love this song." It's like, how do you know this song?
I'm telling you, it's a legitimate band now. I hate to
Yeah,
break
true.
it to you. Yeah,
Maybe
it
that's a sign.
should have been the tip off to you that hey, this is actually going on now.
Yeah, fully.
Is there a song um from the album One Degree that stands out to you for whatever reason?
Hmm. Um, I really, they're all like, I like them all. Warning Signs, that I think is the last song or second last song, is a special one for me because I feel like it's a style of music that I'm enjoying now, and I'm like moving with a more folky tip. I don't know. Um, I also really enjoy Hello Future Me, and uh, as like a I don't know, that those two feel like the direction that we're moving in now, like 90s Manchester psychedelic stuff, but then also like folk music. Um, so maybe those two.
I asked for one, you give me two, and that's the kind of
Yeah.
stuff that you'll find on the Patreon. You know,
Yeah, I can.
tons of great stuff over there. Um, did you feel like those songs were going to stand out when you were writing them, or did they just kind of over time just show that they were creme de la creme?
I think over time, I think they're like good to play live as well. And we've played so many shows in the last 12 months that and those ones have stayed in the set list. Um, and are like fun to play. So yeah.
They seem fun to play, so it's good. It's
Mm.
good. Did you feel like the first time that you went to Europe showcasing these new songs was like just a huge step for you as well?
Yeah, for sure. I think seeing that there was like anyone that there was people there at the shows, and at the festivals or whatever who were there to come and see it. It was really special, and it definitely like yeah is like a adds a new layer of like, oh no, this is a tangible thing. I think this time at our shows in London and Manchester were really fun because they were our own shows and they were quite packed, and we're like, this is quite crazy that there's like, I don't know. It's just always well, not a surprise, but kind of a surprise
Kinda.
as
Yeah.
an independent band, you know, you're like, um, yeah. So that was really nice.
That is very nice.
Mm. Another thing that was nice on this tour as well was people coming up and asking about my solo music as well, which is another surprise, another layer of surprise, because it's even more niche. I'm like, crazy that you're here for the Sunfruits gig, awesome. And then they're like, no, what about your solo album? I'm like, that's awesome.
And they were requesting the encore to be your solo music.
Yeah, nah, not at all. Nah, just at the merch desk being like, do you have any of your solo album? I was like, no way, but that's really nice.
That's kind of mean of you not to bring it, Winter. You know that
I know,
you're big around Europe and you don't supply the people with what they want.
crazy, crazy mean.
Very mean. That's the kind of vibe that you're giving off. Very just
Yeah,
mean person.
rude.
Um, we kind of touched on this a little bit ago, but Jade Imagine is the other project that you're a part of.
Mm-hmm.
And taking a step back to drums in that band, what was the break time, if you will, in between playing drums in whatever the band was before Sunfruits and then going back
Mm-hmm.
with Jade Imagine?
It was so fun. I loved getting back on the kit in a way. Um, it was good. It was like, and I've been a fan of Jade's music for a while, so it was a real honor to get asked to join. Um, yeah, I had a great time jumping back on the kit and like, I don't know, learning a whole new set. And yeah, it was so much fun.
Did you feel like during that time period of kind of stepping away from the kit that you had some new ideas that you wanted to implement that you weren't able to?
Um, I don't know. Maybe because I'd only been playing drums in like studio environments. I don't know. Not really. I think I'd probably gotten worse as a drummer, to be honest. Because I went to like uni for and did study music and drums was the instrument. So I was probably the best at drums then, and then didn't play for a while. Um, but I don't know. No, it was so enjoyable having a break and then coming back.
The talk of the town was that you've gotten better, and everybody in like Spain and England had been saying that you've been getting better. So
Sure.
I don't
Yeah.
know who to believe at this point. It's too many contradicting points.
It's too hard these days.
Very difficult. Do you feel like you're using different kind of implements or tools within music depending on what kind of instrument you're playing? Do you feel like your mind is moving in a different direction with each kind of piece of music?
Mm. Yeah, for sure. I think you're thinking about different elements when you're on the different instrument. I love one of my favorite ways to write music is like in a recording context where you like start with the piano or guitar or bass idea. And I'll do that and then I'll immediately jump to the drums. I think the drums is like such a solidifying um tool for songwriting. And then I'll get back on the other instruments. Um yeah, or like, you know, you've got a bed of instruments and then you're like, all right, it needs like a lead line. That's also so fun, like putting in a guitar and like doing a lead line or piano or synth or whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
Very difficult to start with the drums though in a songwriting process, just starting
yeah,
from
you
nothing like
need the
that.
melody, you need like the chords, I think at least,
I think you're right about that.
or you just a weapon and you can just pump out the whole song on the drums. Um,
which
But
is
I don't,
also
yeah,
super easy. Very, just a very easy thing to accomplish.
basic stuff. I don't
It's
know. Yeah,
first year of uni.
fully. No, it's not as enjoyable playing drums just for drum's sake. Like you need another melodic instrument to also be playing, I think.
What would that preferably be?
Mm.
Guitar, bass.
I think like bass and piano
Oh, okay.
is like so fun as a drummer. It doesn't matter though. Anything like just something melodic. Depends on the song.
Circumstantial. I understand that.
Circumstantial. That's it.
Um, what is it like to have your hands in all these different kind of facets of music?
It's the best. It's so nice. I love having variety, but not too much. Like something like I can still have time to hang out. It feels like a good amount.
Just just the right amount,
Yeah,
but
I think one band singing guitar, one band drums, and then a solo project is good for me.
maybe just one more, just one more.
Yeah, maybe like bass in a band would be fun.
Would that legitimately be the next thing that you would, if there was something else on the table, that's what you would conquer?
I reckon that'd be really fun because it's drums and guitar, but it's neither of them.
Right. It's the mediary in between.
Yeah, and you get to play the same. It's like playing. Yeah, I don't know. Well, it depends. Anyway, depends what band. It's circumstantial bass.
Which is always a talking point on this podcast, circumstantial bass playing.
True. Ah,
Do you feel like you listen to different kinds of music depending on what kind of music that you're making at the time, whatever group it's with?
for sure. Yeah, you put your hat on. You put your like broadcast or stereo lab hat on, or
Hmm.
you put your like 60s, 70s folk or glam hat on. That's
Sure.
how I enjoy that. And it goes back to like growing up, being able to grow up with any kind of music at our fingertips.
I like how the folk hat and the glam hat are the same kind of hat.
Yeah, like I don't know, you go like Simon Garfunkel, but then into Mark Bolan, or like
Right.
Bridges and St. John into Bowie or something. I don't know. It's all there.
And if I come across it by the time I'm editing this, we'll put a picture of that hat if we do have a picture of it. It's a rare hat to see.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's like crushed velvet. It's not like very cool hat, but it's like a loud hat.
Yeah, and it's
Like maybe,
comfortable.
yeah, very comfortable, but very bulky. Like not slash hat, but like nearing slash hat.
Borderline slash hat.
Yeah.
Right. Gotcha. That's an apt description of the hat. With your solo work, uh, did you mention that it was right around that time that you were working on the Sunfruits album that kind of entered your realm as well?
Yeah, so I think we finished the Sunfruits album and oh no, hang on. No, that's crazy. So I would have been the same time in terms of writing, and then I put my first solo album out the start of 2021. And then we went and finished recording the Sunfruits debut album in mid 2021. Um, and then I actually went and wrote and recorded my second solo album, which just came out like last month, in 2022. So it all feels quite like at the same time, like those three albums. Um,
You're just firing on
yeah,
all cylinders for a bit there.
yeah. I guess that was like the lockdown thing. There was nothing else to do, so there was lots of songwriting, and I was kind of built, just kind of for the first time, like starting a songwriting practice in that way. Um, yeah, I haven't really thought about it like that before. It's crazy.
Again, yeah, I mean, this is what this podcast is built off of. Asking questions no one's asked and making people think, I guess the green one is my favorite type. Like the
Yeah,
kind of really,
yeah, yeah.
really
Totally.
important questions here.
Mm.
Um, do you feel like with that time frame of working on both the solo albums and the Sunfruits album that you were just submerged in music at that point,
Yeah, I always like to feel submerged in music. It's a good way to be.
as opposed to being parched from not having any?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is the thing on this tour. Like, you, for me, I need to have touring, but I also need to have recording time. And I think I'm parched of recording time. I'm keen to get back home and just make stuff.
It just never ends.
Yeah, I don't know. That's fun. It's the best. I love it.
So ideally, finding some time to record something in the middle of a long tour. Like that's what we're kind of looking at right now.
I don't know. Yeah, that because that sounds awful too. Maybe I'm thinking like 1 week on, 1 week off, 1 week on,
Oh,
1 week off.
hey, that's not bad. I like that. I like that idea.
Yeah. I feel like bands like King Gizzard would be able to do that now. Like
Oh,
just a week of, Red Rock shows and then a week of recording and then that's the
uh,
dream.
yeah, sure. I mean, hey, Red Rocks just in general, just seeing that place. It's
Mm,
also a dream. Yeah.
I can't imagine. Yeah, have you been there?
I've never been, and I was just thinking about that. I said, man, I gotta go out there because I'm in California. That's in Colorado.
Okay.
It's not that far away, like it's doable driving and all
Yeah.
this. But yeah, I remember John Denver saying like, oh, if I could play one more show ever, it would be at Red Rocks. Uh,
Wow. Okay.
so if it's good enough for Denver, it's good enough for me, you know?
Yeah. Good t-shirt.
Oh yeah. Yeah. If it's good enough for Denver, it's good enough for me. Available now through the Patreon.
Yeah.
Please, yeah, please go and join us
Please.
there. We're asking you, all right? And we don't want to ask again. Has there been talks about bringing Sunfruits or one of your projects over to the States for a tour?
Yeah, definitely. It'd be prohibitively expensive to get to the US, unfortunately, from from Australia. Well, anywhere that's not America, just because of the visas. Like the visas are quite expensive. But I would love to go and play shows in America with Sunfruits or with my solo thing.
Starting at
But
Red
yeah,
Rocks, starting in Colorado.
starting at Red Rocks and then
Then I don't know, like the Bowl or something.
yeah, the bowl and then all right. What's some venues I've heard of that I've never been to? Uh, Echo Park is not a venue, is it? It's a suburb.
Yes, it's a suburb, but there are some
Okay.
venues in
The
that region.
Lodge? What about the Lodge? Is the Lodge a place?
The Lodge Room.
Or
Yes.
the Lodge Room?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, you know your way around Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's funny. I had a dream while on tour that I was driving my car, which is a Prius, in Echo Park in Los Angeles. I've never been to Echo Park, and I don't know why I would have my car there, but it was like I was having a good time.
Now, it was your car. It was not somebody else's Prius. It was your car
No, it
in
was my
Echo
car from
Park.
Melbourne. Yeah, but we were in Echo Park driving.
I really like that idea of bringing. I've always wanted to bring one of my cars to like Europe, like England or something like that, and just be like, whoa, like I drive this at home, and now it's in another country. So
Yeah, like that'd be so ridiculous. No reason to do that.
no, but it would be really cool to do it and then ship it back and be like, this thing's been everywhere.
Yeah, true, true.
I like that entered your mind, and not even seeing a show, not seeing the sights
No.
of Los Angeles. No, just driving your car in Echo
Hmm.
Park.
Yeah. No, I would since yeah, I would love to come over and see the sounds and the scenes.
Well, when you make it over here, I will get you a Prius just so we could make that dream happen.
That'd be awesome.
Um, Yeah, so I mean, you also Madison Square Garden. We forgot to mention that just to
True.
get something on the East Coast as well.
Yeah, I do go for the New York Knicks, so that would be two birds.
Bingo. All right. We're really marking off a lot of stuff here. That's good. And that
Yeah.
that tour is starting 2 weeks, I want to say.
Yeah. Yeah. Tomorrow even.
When I'll get
Oh, that would
everything.
be crazy.
Do you think that would be too much?
Yeah, I don't think I could do that. I think 2 months of touring is like my absolute limit.
But you got to push the boundaries in order to find where you
Where the new
stand.
boundary is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just crazy. Like touring in Australia is just not it's not like that at all. Like you do weekends in Australia because the distances between cities are so far and there's not enough people or towns in between the cities to like warrant doing, Tuesday night, Wednesday night shows. So going over to Europe and playing every night is like it's just such a whole new thing. I'm sure it's the same in the US. Like there's so many more cities and towns.
Yeah, like I go to Los Angeles often because I
Mm,
live fairly close to it, in the next county over, and like there's always shows over there, and there's like some shows over here, and there's also like
yeah,
other shows in San Diego, which is south of
yeah,
the
okay.
county that I live in. Yeah,
Cool.
so we got to implement that sort of strategy to these pockets of Australia.
Yeah, it just needs more people.
Okay, so everybody start moving to Australia. Join the Patreon to find some, apartments and whatnot.
Yeah, true. Cheap plane tickets via the Vineyard Patreon.
Yeah, yeah. I'm always offering very cheap plane flights, especially from the States to
Mm,
Australia.
yeah.
Yeah, they're notoriously cheap. No, I've always wanted to make it over there and see what's going on. I've always wanted to
Yeah,
do that.
please come down to Melbourne. It's a great scene.
Yeah, I gotta check out that and New Zealand while I'm over there.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw you talk to Joe Gatt recently.
Shout out to Joe Gatt, and I will be staying with him when I
Yes.
journey over there. Yeah.
He's awesome. New Zealand's awesome.
Fantastic new album out now. Keeper via Third Eye Stimuli. Um, real quick about Australia, and then we'll get off the subject there. I like that it's just so close to Antarctica. You know,
Yeah.
it's right there, and I feel like I would have to apply for a visa just to get over there, just to see what it's like. The other end of the world.
Yeah. Apparently you can get a plane. It doesn't land, but it flies over Antarctica. It comes back to Tasmania or something.
Why can't it land?
Yeah, what's the deal?
Let me get out a little bit. Let me just stretch my legs, and then we can go. Is that ever discussed about, like, or have you ever met anybody who has been to Antarctica?
Yes, I have. My friend who's a filmmaker was like trying to apply for funding to go to Antarctica and like make a movie about this mountain that's on Antarctica. Um, I hope they got it. I haven't talked to him in a while, but
We'll check up on
yeah,
that. Yeah.
we'll check in. Yeah, I'll let you know. I forget it is right there.
Yeah. So I don't know who I'm gonna stay with over there, but we'll figure it out. Maybe your
Mm.
filmmaking buddy has a
Yeah,
place over there. We'll sort that out it's more of like just get here and we'll figure it out. Just play it by ear
yeah, I
kind of
think so.
situation. If I know
That's what
anything
I'd
about
love.
Antarctica, you don't need to have any sort of training or anything like that. You don't have to be a scientist to step foot on there. You just kind of show up
It's
and
cruisy.
yeah,
It's like Europe. It's pretty open border kind of vibe.
quite yeah. Then make your way over and then past the what is it, Drake's Passage over there, and then just when you're done, just hop back over to Chile, and then
Yeah, true.
yeah,
The world is small when you think about it.
yeah. But how small is it? I'm trying to figure that out. Me and your friend will figure that out in the
Yeah, true. That's
documentary.
your guys' thing.
We would love to have you aboard. start setting up some concert venues out there in Antarctica.
Yeah, Lodge Room, Antarctica.
Hey, sister kind of community over there. We got one in
Yeah.
one in Echo Park and one in Antarctica. Um, Getting back to your music though, just kind of getting off of the Antarctica talk,
Hmm.
which we'll delve back into. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
A Rabble of Bees. That was the debut album, right?
Hmm.
I like the name.
Oh, hell yeah.
First off, when did you realize like, yeah, let's start kind of hashing this out? When did that kind of enter your mind?
Um, I didn't even go into that album being like, I'm gonna make a solo album. It was just songs and like offcuts that I wasn't gonna use for Sunfruits, and then ended up being 9 songs. And I was like, I sent it to Josh from Third Eye. I was like, I've been writing these songs, and he's like, oh, cool. Let's do a solo album. I was kind of like, okay, cool. Like he's gonna do a cassette or something. And he's like, nah, no, we can press it. And I was like, whoa, okay. And then did some shows for that, and it was really fun. And it was like very organic and relaxed, and it was beautiful. It was really nice. Um, and then yeah, I think on this most recent one and Move to the Trees, I was like I went in with like I'm gonna write a solo album and record it mentality
Yeah.
rather than like offcuts vibe.
Did you feel like that progression was relatively quick with the first release?
Yeah, I think like doing the first album and seeing that there was any kind of reception or interest, I was like, oh, cool, this is fun. Maybe I don't know. And it was also just really fun. I don't know. I just like writing music, so it was just like another way to get more music out. You know?
And shout out
Um,
to Josh for helping that.
yeah. Shout out to Josh. Facilitates a lot of things like that.
I really like Third Eye. I mean that record label has come onto my radar recently, and what I've been seeing of it, it's just amazing.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. It's
Great
great.
great stuff out there. Might be same with Josh as well when I get out there. I don't know. I'll probably jump
Yeah.
around a
Well,
bit.
you won't have to pay for any accommodation. Stay with me in Melbourne.
Hmm.
Josh lives in the next state, and then Joe lives in New Zealand. It'll be sweet.
Yeah, I got a couple of people, and Miles Majovic
Oh, yeah,
from
true.
yeah. So I'm also gonna stay with him. I don't know where he's at. I'll figure it out. I'll learn the whole
He,
continent.
I think he lives like in the same very small town as Josh. So you'll have 2 houses there.
Perfect. All right. So as I'm setting up the lodge room out in Antarctica, I'll come back, stay with everybody.
Take a break.
Yeah, take it. Yeah, take a little load off, and then fly back over.
That's
Uh,
great.
yeah. I'm really looking forward to my journey here. Um, so a rabble of bees comes out, and I mean that's amazing that it was pressed, uh,
Mm,
for the debut. It's amazing.
yeah, I was surprised.
And then was there even things from the first album that didn't make it onto the first album that eventually made it on to the second one? Or were these
Um,
all new kind of ideas that you were collectively putting together
on the second album.
on the second album?
Yeah, yeah. I think it was all just new things. Yeah, I don't think any of them were around during Rabble of Bees era. Um, yeah.
And when you started on this, I mean, was it pretty hot off the heels of the first release?
Yeah, I guess it was like a year afterwards, I think.
It's pretty soon, and you got some
Yeah,
touring done
I
in
was
between
keen.
there. Yeah,
Yeah. And it was a different environment as well because I booked a weekend with my friend Jesse, who is actually touring the US right now with his partner Leah Senior. I booked some time in with him to record it and got my friends down from Sydney who play in a band called Hot Apple Band. They're also on Third Eye. So it was very much like structured weekend, going to do it in this way, as opposed to Rabble of Bees, which was just like drawn out thing.
Do you feel like if you cemented stuff like that for a rabble of bees, that it would have came out like very smoothly or like as smoothly as it did? Or do you feel like there would have
Nah, I
been
think it
some,
needed to be a bit rabbly, you know?
that was what the era
Yeah,
called for? Yeah.
yeah, a little bit honey, a little bit, I don't know. Yeah, a little bit drawn out. I think because it was, yeah, it was less, not less conceived, but you know what I mean? Like just more,
Yeah,
uh,
it was really just
concise or something. I don't know.
natural, kind of naturally
Yeah,
happened.
yeah, yeah, very, yeah.
That's what I remember from that era. It was kind of natural. Yeah.
Oh, natural.
All natural. Were there different challenges when creating the follow up to Rabble of Bees?
Um, I don't know. I think it was just the only challenge with that one was like finding time to release it. Everything else about that process was really nice and like stress free and chill.
It's a good challenge to have.
Yeah, I was like, where do I fit this? Because we put out the Sunfruits, we had to put that Sunfruits debut album out, and then that whole year was just Sunfruit stuff. Like we did an Oz, New Zealand, and Europe tour and a bunch of other things. Um, so no, it was very blissful.
Amazing. Does it always kind of feel like that is the process when it comes to working on music, that it's more relaxed?
Nah, no way. I think I think solo music I find really easy because it's just me, and maybe I'm a bit of a control freak. But I don't know. I like making music with other people a lot, and I like bringing other people into my solo project, which is obviously that would be the case. Um, no, I think making music can be hard sometimes if you're not on the same page with the concept. Um, but if everyone's on the same page, it's like the best thing ever. I love it.
Do you look at the creation of music as like a communal style of working rather than a solo endeavor?
Hmm. I guess depends what happens with the music and also like who you're making it with. If you're just making music for yourself and it doesn't come out, then I feel like it's a personal thing. I think music's always a personal thing, but I think it also takes on a new role when you like put it out and it becomes a community thing. And then I think it's also different if you've made it with other people, you know. So
I
it's all
do.
circumstantial again.
We're all working in the circumstantial kind of sphere or realm, if you will.
Yeah.
Um, with the move to the Trees album, when that came out, did it feel kind of like when the first album came out, or did it have a different feel to it when it was finally released and out to the public and it wasn't just a private thing anymore?
Hmm. If it was similar, I think like maybe because it was more of a refined and like focused thing, it felt a little bit like more, I don't know, I was just more like geared up for it. I was like, yeah, hell yeah. Um, I think it came out right before and I did a small solo tour with a band right before I left for Europe with Sunfruits. So it was a very like intense period. But I've really enjoyed it. Very enjoyable period.
I was hoping you're going to say that the small tour was in Spain and that's how everybody knew about you in
Oh, weird.
Spain. I
That would
thought
be awesome.
I thought that was a connection there. Okay. My apologies.
That would be dope.
Do different subjects inspire different songs for different groups? Or is it kind of all again intertwined and interlocked into one another?
I think between Sunfruits and my solo work, there's a lot of overlap in terms of subjects and with the songwriting. I think with Jade Imagine, it's a different thing. I'm not like writing lyrics or songs in that way with that band, just writing it from the drums, you know. Yeah.
I like that answer. Do you feel like songs reveal themselves over time as you hash them out or just working at them?
Yeah, I think so. Even if you have a really like solid preconceived idea of a song, it's always gonna be different.
And do they show themselves in a different light once you're bringing them to stage and performing them live?
Yeah, definitely. Because you have to get, you know, you with other people. But that's awesome. Can be hard, but it's also can make like a song you don't really care for your favorite song. Or it can go the other way, where like your favorite song's like, nah, this is actually better as a recorded song.
Um, do you feel like working on your solo music has widened your scope on music just as a whole?
Yeah, for sure. I think definitely in a songwriting aspect. Hmm.
I really like that one. That was a good answer. That was a good one there.
That
I felt that one.
was a long one. You're gonna have to edit that one down.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. We'll cut it for time. Might not even
Yeah.
make the final cut, but you know, we're experiencing it now. Um, do you feel the same way playing live with any of the projects that you're a part of at that time? Do you feel the same way?
Um, no, no, they also feel quite different. I think because there's like different, I don't know. Yeah, they do feel different. Like with Jade, different group of people, different kind of music. I'm on a different instrument. And then Sunfruits, mainly different people, different kind of music. Um, and then yeah, solo music again. Yeah, they all feel quite distinct
What
playing
are the
live.
Yeah. All right. All right. Fine, Winters. Fine. I'm not wasn't looking for a real answer there. Um, how do you feel when you're done with the performance? When you finally wrapped up your set and you step off stage?
Oh man, it changes every night, especially on this tour. It's been like, if it's an awesome gig and I've had a great time, I'm like, yeah, that was the best ever. But it can be so weird. Like, you can be in your head the whole time and you think it was a terrible show. And you're like, why are we here? That was awful. And then it's like you go to the merch desk or even just like out to get some air, and someone's like, that was really cool. And you're like, was it? Are you lying to me?
Who sent you here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what? I don't
Where
believe you.
where are the cameras? Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah. It could just be so different for every gig. It depends on the environment and like how you're feeling, what the sound is like, you know. That's a huge thing. I'm trying my like I've been working on trying to just be like, no, it's like, you know, it's definitely of a certain standard. It's okay. It's not, there's no train wrecks. Like it's fine. You know, like trying to be easy on yourself.
I like that answer. That's another perfect answer from you. Um, Winter, thank you so much for coming on. I really
No worries.
appreciate it.
That was really fun. Thanks for having me.
Hey, it was really fun for me as well.
Yeah,
If you were curious at all.
yeah, of course.
But before I let you go, I got some promo to do here, and you got a lot of stuff going on, so bear with me here. Um, Sunfruits' debut album, One Degree, is out now via the great Third Eye Stimuli, and people can buy the album and merch through thirdeyestimuli.com as well as through the Bandcamp, which is at sunfruits.bandcamp.com. And all these songs are streaming everywhere, right? Wherever people get
Hmm.
their music. Yeah, perfect. And everyone can stay up to date with shows, upcoming shows through the website, which is at sunfruitsband.com. And everybody can stay up to date with news and shows and tours and all that good stuff by following them on Instagram, which is at sunfruitsband. Jade Imagine's music is streaming everywhere as well. People can go find the merch and the vinyl through the Bandcamp. That's the best place, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good deal. And that's at jadeimagine.bandcamp.com. And everybody can stay up to date with news, shows, tours, and everything else by following them on Instagram at Jade Imagine Band on Instagram. And Winter, your solo albums are also through Third Eye Stimuli.
Mm-hmm.
That have you heard about that label?
Yeah, they sound cool. They keep putting out my music.
They're very cool. And yeah, you're lucky. Um, yeah, both of the albums are available through, or actually, I think that the debut is actually sold out at the moment, but when it's
Yeah.
restocked, it'll be available there at,
Yes, only the new album is available, I think.
and you think that nobody's listening, how would everybody know it's sold out?
Ah, yeah, shit.
Yeah, but when it is restocked, it'll be available at thirdeyesamurai.com and through your Bandcamp as well, your solo Bandcamp,
Mm-hmm.
which is at wintermcquinn.bandcamp.com. Everybody can stay up to date with news, tours, releases, and everything else by following you on Instagram, which is at underscore wintergram underscore on Instagram.
Nice. Nailed the Instagram name.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Um, and of course, all that stuff will be linked below. And there's some cool little documentaries about making Move to the Trees and the making of the 1 Degree.
Oh yeah, bless.
Yeah, both little, some little small documentaries, and those will both be linked below. They're both on YouTube, and so when you're done with this, go ahead and go over and check
Keep it
those out.
going.
Yeah. We're gonna you gotta subscribe to it though and leave a comment for the algorithm and all that good stuff,
Mhm.
right?
All that shit.
All that shit also known as good stuff.
Yes. Great stuff.
Symbiotic. Do we have anything else to promote, Winter? Or
No, you nailed it.
okay.
Um, I will mention we had a videographer traveling with us on this Sunfruits tour for the whole time, so there will also be a tour after movie thing. I don't know when, but we'll be sure to
In in
share
in
that.
the in the future, and that will be available at I mean there'll be a little teaser. I know that. I have a very good feeling it'll be a little teaser on Instagram for
Yes,
that.
I'm sure there will be.
So go follow the band on Instagram, which is again at Sunfruits Band on Instagram to stay up to date for the little tour video.
Awesome.
I mean, and I'm really looking forward to that. Thank you for the little insight. And I know that you saved the big news for this podcast, and I do appreciate it.
The big thing's coming soon.
Huge, huge, so huge, the
So
biggest thing.
massive.
So keep an eye out for that. And Winter, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thank you. And I'm gonna stop recording this. I'll talk to you in a minute, okay?
Mm-hmm.